Imagine this, a group of leather-clad bikers roaring through the desert, engines screaming like war machines, their name inspired by fearless World War II pilots. They started as rebels, veterans rejecting the picket fence life after the war. But what if I told you those same rebels became one of the most feared criminal empires on the planet? Today, we're diving into the wild, dark, and downright insane story of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club. How they went from free-spirited riders to a global syndicate that even governments can't fully stop. Buckle up because this ride's about to get bumpy. Let's rewind to 1948, Fontana, California. Picture a dusty town still shaking off the echoes of World War II. A guy named Otto Friedli, a vet with a restless soul, rounds up some buddies and forms the Hells Angels. The name? Pulled from a badass squadron called the Flying Tigers, and a 1930 flick, Hells Angels. These weren't just any bikers, they were misfits, guys who'd seen war and couldn't sit still in a 9-to-5. By the late 50s, a new name steps up, Ralph "Sonny" Barger. He's the Oakland chapter leader, a tough-as-nails visionary who turns this ragtag crew into something bigger. He writes the rules, unites the charters, and suddenly the Hells Angels aren't just a club, they're a force. In 1961 they even plant their first flag overseas in New Zealand. But here's the kicker, what starts as freedom on two wheels is about to take a sharp turn. Fast forward to the 1960s. San Francisco's alive with hippies, acid trips, and rock and roll. The Hells Angels roll right into the middle of it. They're hanging out in Haight-Ashbury, partying with Ken Kesey's Merry Pranksters, sharing beers with the Grateful Dead. Their HQ's at 715 Ashbury, right across from Jerry Garcia's crew. They're rebels with a cause, or so it seems. Hunter S. Thompson jumps in, lives with them, and writes Hells Angels, a strange and terrible saga in '66. It's raw, it's real, and it makes them legends. But then comes Altamont, 1969. The Rolling Stones hire them as security for a free concert. What happens? A fan, Meredith Hunter, gets stabbed to death by a Hells Angel in the crowd. The footage is chilling. Chaos erupts, and the world sees their dark side. That moment? It's when the flower power dream cracks, and the Angels' reputation shifts from cool to cold-blooded. Now the 70s hit, and the Hells Angels aren't just bikers anymore. They're players in a global game. Drugs become their goldmine: methamphetamine, cocaine, weed, you name it, they're moving it. They're clashing with rivals like the Outlaws, sparking biker wars that leave bodies in the streets. Think I'm exaggerating? In the Nordic Biker War from 94 to 97, 11 people were killed, 74 nearly died, and 96 got hurt. That's not a bar fight, that's a battlefield. They're smart too. One expert calls them the McDonald's of organized crime. Structured, franchised everywhere. By 2025 they've got over 6,000 members, 592 charters, 66 countries. They're running prostitution rings, smuggling guns, laundering cash. Cops raid them, like in Denmark, 2016, busting a stash of 140,000 cannabis cigs made in 6 weeks. But they keep rolling. The Netherlands bans them in 2019, calls them a violent threat. Canada labels them an outlaw gang. Yet they're still out there, engines roaring, untouchable in ways that make you wonder, how do they do it? So where are they now? March 20th, 2025, Hells Angels are still kicking. They're in your backyard maybe. 66 countries means they're closer than you think. Australia's got them laundering money through gyms. Argentina's seen shootouts with rivals, 150 rounds fired in one go. Just last year Copenhagen had an explosion tied to biker feuds. Police are still digging. They're not just criminals, they're a culture. Thompson's book, TV shows like Sons of Anarchy, even their own website, they've got a brand that's half rebel, half nightmare. Law enforcement's chasing them, but they're slippery. Banned in places, sure. But with 6,000 plus members, they're not fading. They started as vets on bikes, rejecting the world. Now, they run parts of it, quietly, violently, and on their terms. That's the Hells Angels, a story of freedom that twisted into something darker, a brotherhood that became a business, a legend that's still writing itself in blood and chrome. What do you think? Heroes of the open road or villains in leather? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if you're as hooked as I am, and subscribe for more dives into the wild side of history. Until next time, keep your eyes on the road, and maybe check your rear view for those wings.